Daughter could have frozen. You should keep a better eye on her. You're right, officer. How could you be so careless? After the guests left, Dad and Pamela talked about me. Irene ruined the dinner and made me look terrible. There's no way I'm getting that promotion now. I told you that child will always cause problems. After a couple of days, they packed up my things and drove me somewhere. We soon arrived at an orphanage. I'm sorry, Irene, but taking care of you is too troublesome. Maybe some other people will be up for it, but we need to get on with our lives. And there's no place for you in them. Such betrayal left a deep scar on my psyche. I hid inside myself and stopped talking altogether so that no one else would laugh at the strange way I spoke. But that just made the other kids think I was weird and stupid. Several years went by. I was still living in the orphanage, mute as a fish. My pet rat Pinky was the only one I sometimes spoke to. I didn't trust people anymore. They caused me too much pain. Writing and reading still came hard to me. School was like a special kind of hell. One day, I was having trouble with an essay, and our literature teacher blew up on me. Irene, you are so stupid, you will never find a normal job, and then you'll be homeless. I thought I wasn't a vindictive person. Boy, I was wrong. Her words made my blood boil. At recess, I sneaked into the parking lot and tried to scratch her car, but was caught red-handed. Now you've done it. I'll make sure you're sent to a school for troubled kids. May I ask what's going on here? This doesn't concern you. I'm afraid it does. I'm the new school psychologist, and she will not be transferred anywhere without my say-so. The beautiful lady's name was Mrs. Barlow. She invited me into her office, read my personal file, and tried to get me to talk, but I refused to say anything. It's fine if you don't want to talk right now. Silence is your psychological defense. We'll work on it. She asked me to do several tests and write a sentence she dictated. Wait for me here. I'll analyze your results and come back. I got bored after she left. There were some papers with equations on Mrs. Barlow's desk. The numbers fascinated me and I started to solve them. When she came back, her eyes bugged out. Irene, did you solve these? I nodded guiltily and I thought none of it was right, and I was about to be called stupid again, but Mrs. Barlow looked intrigued. Fascinating. I need to introduce you to someone. The next day, she introduced me to her husband. He also asked me to solve some equations and thoughtfully rubbed his chin when I did. I have never seen results like these. I didn't know what he meant. Probably that I was beyond hopeless. Imagine my surprise when I found out Mr. and Mrs. Barlow decided to adopt me. I was very nervous and didn't know whether to be happy or not. After moving, I found out that my new parents were very smart and educated. Mrs. Barlow was a psychologist, and her husband taught higher mathematics at a university. They also had a son called Brian. He was 2 years older than me and went to a school for gifted children. My wild imagination pictured the Barlows as crazy geniuses with brains so huge they could only fit into giant heads. Irene, why do you look so scared? I felt even more stupid than usual when I was with them. Moreover, Brian bent over backwards to prove he was better than me. Why aren't you talking? Are you so stupid that you can't remember your own name? I didn't know why such a smart couple decided to adopt me. Maybe they wanted to conduct some kind of experiment, and I was just a guinea pig for them. My guess was confirmed when my adoptive parents brought me to the hospital the next day to be examined by a neuropsychiatrist. When we got home, they told me something I wasn't expecting. Just as I thought, Irene, you have dyslexia. That is why you find it hard to read, write, and express your thoughts correctly. That doesn't mean you aren't intelligent. Dyslexia cannot be cured, but you can learn to live with it. You can't imagine how relieved I felt. All my life, I'd been told I was worse than everyone else, but it turned out I was just a bit different. I even wanted to thank her, but I couldn't bring myself to start talking again. It's hard for you to read and write, but you have an innate mathematical talent. Remember the equations you solved? I usually give them to my students. Not all of them can solve them, but you did. I blossomed like a flower. For the first time in my life, I felt special and smart. My new parents transferred me to a school for gifted children. No one there mocked me for staying silent. At home, Mr. and Mrs. Barlow taught me to deal with my dyslexia. Writing, reading, and expressing my thoughts was becoming easier by the day. I was over the moon, but then Brian got jealous because our parents and his friends were spending a lot of time with me. One day, he opened Pinky's cage and my rat ran away. I was gutted. Soon, our parents threw a Christmas party. All their friends came. They were as smart as my new family. Everyone, this is our adopted daughter, Irene. She's a math genius. Sweetheart, show them. I solved a complicated equation, and the adults were suitably impressed, but Brian didn't let me enjoy my triumph. Mom and Dad only adopted you to brag to their friends about your math talent. They don't love you. He ran out of the house, and I suddenly realized that I had once been in his place. I knew how he felt, so I ran after Brian. All of a sudden, I noticed a swerving car. The driver must have lost control because of the ice on the road, and the car was about to hit my brother. I was too far to push him away. That's why I screamed, "Brian! Turn around!" I'm too heavy to pull up. I won't let you fall. Brian's hand was slipping out of mine. But luckily, the driver of that car came to the rescue. We talked all the way home. I've never heard you speak before. I told Brian about all the trauma that kept me silent for so many years. My stepmother and her daughter convinced my dad to leave me in an orphanage. Perhaps she bewitched him. No, your father's just a scumbag. Maybe you're right. I'm sorry that I took up so much of your parents' time. This is your family. I'm not a part of it. I was lying, Irene. They didn't adopt you to brag about you. A couple of years ago, Mom was pregnant with a girl, but lost the baby. They wanted to take in someone who needed some love after that. When we got home, Brian returned Pinky to me. She didn't run away. I've been hiding her in my room. From that moment on, our home was full of harmony and love, and I was speaking again. A few more years went by. Brian was finishing school and preparing to move to another city to go to university. I was doing great too. The mayor was supposed to award me a medal, as I was one of the best students in town soon. Brian's daily fights with our parents put a damper on my good mood though. Recently, he had all but stopped studying. If you keep this up, you won't be able to go to the university of your dreams. Whatever, I'll stay with you and work at the local supermarket. I'm going to be sick. It wasn't like Brian at all. Where were all his ambitions now? I feared my brother had fallen in with a bad crowd, so I decided to keep an eye on him. He was constantly texting someone, sending them heart emojis and selfies, and then it all became clear to me. Brian had fallen in love. My brother was failing exams on purpose to be rejected by all unis and stay with his girlfriend in our hometown. I tried to explain to my brother that it was dumb, but he wouldn't listen to me. Then I decided to talk to his girlfriend, hoping that she would be able to change Brian's mind. The next time he went on a date, I followed him. Imagine my shock when I realized that my brother was dating Sandra. She had grown up. I felt so lost that I didn't dare approach them. But Irene, get over here. I'll introduce you to my girlfriend. We've met. She was my stepsister once. What? Because of you and your mom, Irene had to go through hell. I'm such a moron. I almost ruined my future for some bully. Brian, wait. Forget about me. Let's go, sis. I couldn't leave Sandra in that state and tried to calm her down. I'm so sorry for everything, Irene. I was a kid and Mom turned me against you, but I've changed. She said that she and Brian wanted to go to the same university, but Sandra's math grades left a lot to be desired. My brother decided to stay in town until she got better results so they could go to university together. But now it's all over. Brian won't forgive me. I love him so much. I'm good at math. Do you want me to help you? You could surprise Brian and make up with him once you get in. For a while, Sandra and I met up in that cafe, and I tutored her in math. My brother didn't know about it. One day, Sandra got sick and asked me to come over to her house. I hesitated. It was my childhood home, the place where I felt unwanted and lonely. But in the end, I decided I had become much stronger and more confident and could handle it. I'm on my way. Dad and Pamela came to Sandra's room before I could leave. My palms were sweating. The last time I saw them was when they abandoned me at the orphanage. Sandra? Is this your math tutor? I can't believe it! Irene is as stupid as a rock! Mom, stop it! She's smart, she's just dyslexic! Pamela kept insulting me, and Dad didn't even try to stand up for me. Refusing to put up with such humiliation, I ran away from that hellish house. Sandra texted me and said you've been helping her. Have you forgiven her? We were just kids. The adults are to blame for everything that happened. Sandra is trying really hard. You should forgive her. I'll think about it. A couple of days later, there was a Christmas celebration in the city center. I came there with my family and was happy to see that Brian and Sandra had made up. I also noticed Dad and Pamela in the crowd. She started to make fun of me again, and Dad was too cowardly to shut her up as usual. But everything changed when the mayor called me up on stage and awarded me as the best student in town. You should have seen the look on Pamela's face. She turned red as a hot frying pan. We're so proud of you, sweetheart. I'm proud of you too, daughter. You know what? I don't care. When you said goodbye to me, you also said there might be other people up for taking care of me out there. Remember? Well, we found each other, and you made your choice. So keep living with that witch. A flower only blooms when it's well taken care of. That's what happened to me. I found a family that loves and supports me. I hope your dreams will come true too. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that like button.